at 5:45, discussion and interaction approval of 911. It's just an approval and to talk about the temporary 911 director. And that's what it's put on there for. And our plans are right now, we need to make some adjustments on the job and put it out for advertisement. And Mr. Dunbrack will have the opportunity to apply for that position. And this is the true facts of it. And as far as comments on Mr. Dunbrack, we've received emails, and we understand what people are wanting us to understand, and we'll move down the path. So, as far as expressing your opinion, I can't see it wasting everyone's time going through everyone's comment. We know what you're going to say.
Please waste the time. Please.
But
I don't think you're listening to us anyway. Why does he have to reapply when he can just be reinstated?
he turned in his resignation.
Can he withdraw?
But why did he turn it in?
Resign or get fired?
He had the option of getting fired.
Yeah, he gets fired.
We didn't make any motion. He had the option. He turned in his resignation.
Yeah, reinstate.
Yeah, reinstate him tonight.
We accepted his resignation. We're moving
Reinstate?
forward.
Well, then
Can he
you
withdraw
all
tonight?
made a mistake.
Withdraw tonight.
Yeah.
They've given me options.
Reinstated.
I can't see that.
So you're saying that you all can't make a mistake then?
We're not saying that.
All right, then what are you saying?
We're saying
If you can't rehire him?
that he turned in his resignation and we accept.
And you're
Was that
telling-
willfully turned in his resignation or forcefully?
No one was forcing him to sign in.
So you didn't say that if you didn't turn in your resignation, you were gonna fire?
Not one of us commissioners ever said that.
Nobody had that kind
Not
of threat.
all three commissioners. I can verify for all
What about
three
from
of
the commissioner's attorney?
You can ask him, but don't ask me.
Did you threaten with firing?
I mean, that's our understanding.
Ladies and gentlemen, what happened in the executive
Ah,
session
here we go.
Yeah,
is
we got
executive session. Well,
Reinstate him then.
why don't you all go talk to Mr. Dunbrack and ask him?
We have.
We have.
We have. We talked directly to
And he
him.
gave you all the facts and circumstances surrounding the
The
entire
only ones
thing.
that anyone gave us.
Well,
Now you're free to give us some too.
I am not.
Yeah.
The commission is not, and I am not.
We're not open to comment. And on behalf of Mr. Dunbrack's, that is our position with it. I don't know what else that, these other gentlemen can give their views on. But
So if he was to withdraw his resignation, you'd accept that?
we're not saying anything. No.
If he puts in another application, which you already hired, now you won.
He will be looked at like anybody other application.
Well, in most jobs, you have 2 weeks to withdraw. Are you saying that can't happen here?
Well, I can ask my attorney or our attorney
His
what
resignation was immediate. It says so.
This is a terrible waste of resources, both manpower and taxpayer resources. This is a man who's done a good job for a long time. Everybody thinks he did a good job, and if there was an issue, all but the most egregious of these kind of issues, any place I've ever seen, has been addressed by training.
Have you done your training? I know the commission enacted the sexual harassment policy, but it's my understanding that there's been no training. I know it's in the handbook, but has anybody done any training?
911 had our training.
That was put in the book, I think we finally approved it in February.
And it's already understanding that she would create a complaint against the deputy? So if there's no
I'm
complaint,
not at liberty to speak about those personal,
well, there's a bunch of us in this room, and
That you all were
there's-
hired by
there's a
the
bunch-
county.
There's a bunch
Therefore,
out
the
there.
county wants to know.
And we want to know what's going on, because the direction that we're being led is not the direction that the majority of us want to go. And I spoke to Mr. Simmons, I spoke to Mr. McLaughlin. He said that the reason he was hired was that Mr.
He's
Simmons.
Bob Martin. I don't use pronouns. I'm not a pronoun. You know my name.
Mr.
Go right
Martin.
ahead. Thank you.
Okay. Mr. Simmons said that no one has ever come from the commission into his office to ask for help.
Oh, yes, we have.
I'm just telling you what I was told.
That's not the issue.
It's not the issue. The issue is,
The issue is that you bring someone in, you strong arm them, and you tell them either resign, and Shaw doesn't want a firing on his record. No one wants that. So it's either resign or we're gonna get rid of you either way.
Can I ask a question? Martin, what's the procedure disclosing information for this particular incident?
You all are precluded from disclosing information that you obtained during executive session. Now, Mr. Dunbrack can disclose whatever he wants. And obviously, there's a lot of people talking out there, and it appears a lot of people are talking don't know what they're talking about.
Really? You calling all of us stupid?
No, ma'am, I am not. What did I say?
It sounds to me like that's what you're doing.
Actually, that's not correct.
You need to get some education.
The commission's never precluded from disclosing any information. It is always optional for you to have an executive session, always optional for you to disclose any information you want.
It's optional to the person. Is Mr. Dunbrack going to release the commission to disclose that information? Mr. Ham?
I don't know.
I think that's what needs to happen. He needs to
Exactly
release
what
us
needs
to
to
disclose information, and then we can do it. And then you'll hear what happened.
Well, he like they said, he can fill out 100 applications. You guys aren't going to consider it.
I will. I sure will.
Well, then what's the
Why don't
problem
you
with
fight for him?
reconsidering him tonight if you're sitting here telling us face to face that you're gonna do this, but the moment we leave, you're not gonna do that. So don't tell us one thing and then turn around and do something
we're
else.
not telling you. His
Really?
application will be accepted like anybody else.
Then just accept it tonight.
Well, let me
The
make a
man's done
statement
a
here.
good job here for this county.
There's a
We
lot of
need him.
issues went on, there's a lot of stuff discussed. There's still being a lot of stuff discussed. And I don't think anybody in this room, possibly including myself, knows all the issues.
What's better than clicking into a fresh new blade? Never.
Needs some serious looking into, needs some changes made to it, and needs reapplied for. Now, if Mr. Dunbrack wants to reapply, I don't see any problem with
What's
that.
the issues that you have?
I will disclose them issues when I feel free to disclose them. But there
Really?
is some changes that needs to be made.
Now, this, I know in the EMS meeting, we discussed a lot. It was discussed between as two positions. Is that still
I'm looking for
between
that.
911 and?
I think the commission made that decision back some years ago and combined those two positions.
Right.
And
Look all the money and grants and
I know
equipment
that.
that he's gotten for this county.
I know that, but
Look at a lifetime of service he's given to this county.
Exactly.
A lifetime.
yeah, he's,
You're not gonna find anybody to replace him if that's
And I
He
know,
knows the whole
the same
county.
quality of work. The man was born for that job. I mean, it's just,
Exactly.
We did the mapping for years and years and years, and nothing ever got done. We paid thousands of dollars out of the county budget for the mapping coordinator. It went on forever. Sean come on board. We got turn-by-turn directions now, and
it's still not done.
it's better.
A lot further than what it was.
Sure, but it's
a
not.
lot further than what it was.
We're paying bills every couple of months to get updated and redone and stuff.
You're always
You're
gonna do
always
that.
gonna
Everything
do that.
changes.
Well, yeah.
As long as there's building in Putnam County, it'll do that.
But you got a good guy that you can actually trust and rely on. And he's not one that's sitting back in an
Sean did a good
office.
job.
Then what's the problem?
The problem is in this right here. And when he decides to disclose it, let us disclose it, you'll know.
So I'm talking to him,
I don't know what he told you.
you wanna know what you told us?
It's up to you.
He told us that he was asked to resign or he'd be fired. He was told the issue was that there was a sexual harassment issue that you felt he didn't address properly. And he wasn't allowed to tell you guys how he did address it. That was what he told us.
There's a video of it.
He was allowed to say whatever he wanted to that day. I don't know.
There was a video of it. There's a video of it still somewhere. It should be.
I don't know if there's videos and audio.
Well, yeah, that was of the meeting that occurred with him with the employee. The 911 center is videoed 24/7. So the occurrence that he observed on tape, he didn't feel there was an issue. He addressed it. But that same person that filed a claim against him had also been written up twice by Sean because he sent the Marlington department on a fire call and failed to advise us that there were weapons involved, and one of our firefighters had a 9mm stuck in his face. I mean, how can an employee go from being written up to be the one that caused Sean to lose his job? That just doesn't appear to be right.
Those are two different
Evidently,
times and
that
two different
employee
places.
got the benefit of the
It
doubt.
doesn't matter if it was 2 different times. It was very much a coincidence, if you ask me.
I'm not gonna speculate on coincidence.
My concern is, where are you gonna find somebody with this experience? I felt really comfortable knowing he was there, having our back.
When the job is open for applications, he applies for it.
I understand
He's the best
that.
person.
If you
he'll
got
get.
fired, would you reapply for it?
That's his personal preference.
Well, it's our personal preference too.
It's gonna be hard to find someone who's gonna fill his shoes, is what I'm afraid of.
We went through a lot of 911
We hate,
supervisors before we found him, and most of the ones we had really didn't do that great. He's done the best in the whole 20 years I've been here.
And even with the Homeland Security part, if the water was coming up, if we knew a disaster was coming, we knew that he had our backs, that he would call, that he would get us help.
Absolutely.
Not be drunk and wreck a county car while we need assistance, you know? And I'm not saying anything about the past ones, but it's nice to know that somebody a little higher than us is out there getting help for us, you know, when the floodwaters are coming up or when a derecho strikes. Because each squad can't do it, you know? And he got outside sources.
Well, we were put in a position 2 weeks ago to do something, and whether we made a mistake, we're gonna deal with it.
so you can't recant on that now and just reinstate him to his position?
Or refuse his,
What was the
refuse
position
his,
you put in?
Yeah, refuse his resignation.
They don't admit they made a mistake.
Tear up that resignation. We all make mistakes.
Recant.
Well,
Do you not see that you have people here in this community that helps run this community, that is out there when people need help? That's saying a heck of a lot.
we see, we appreciate,
Then open up
we
your eyes a
appreciate
little
everybody's
wider.
help. But
And get
there's an
somebody
issue here that we
Get the
cannot
gentleman
discuss
back in
tonight.
there.
and the only way to fix that issue is to fire him.
At this point, we did what we thought was the best for the county.
At that time.
So
What
the whole
about
county
now?
suffers because of one person.
If that, if they
It's
were,
not just one
if it was, Bill, if it was to come up now, right now in your face, if this had not happened, if it was to come up now with the issues that you've already learned, would you do it again?
That's a good point.
Probably would, yes. Because there's issues are there.
Were they ever addressed before, or was that the first you heard of them? Because you're his boss, right? I mean, if it's not being done right, you guys are supposed to say, look, this isn't being done right, you should do it this way. And did that ever happen?
There was some issues, yes, in the past, yes.
Documented issue.
I'm sure there was.
You sure? You're not
You
certain?
sure?
Did we see the documentation?
You don't know.
Well.
Did we see the documentation?
Yeah.
Public
Make it
record?
public.
His reprimands?
You want to bring stuff out in the open on
Hey,
camera?
this is all here.
that's
That's
what
what
we're
you're
doing.
doing. We're here.
Well, we're not making any headways tonight at all.
There you go.
And like we said, he will have the opportunity to apply.
But you could reinstate him.
We cannot.
Yes, you can.
If they would reinstate him, you know they're not
They're not, they're not, he's wasting his time to fill out a new
Like
application.
Mr. Walker said, there's more.
There's a whole lot more other than just with him.
Just with him. What we talk about. But, as far as, public input and hear callers, it's open for anybody to voice their opinion.
Waste of time, waste publicity.
Maybe you all need to look at the 911 center tapes. Maybe a week or so before that she was sitting on this person's lap all over, and then all of a sudden it's brought up that he was the one sexually harassing.
Maybe we need to look at a lot, yes.
I just find it odd that the person that was written up for violations was the same person. Look at me, not your attorney, Mr. Martin.
I'm looking at you, you don't have to tell me where to look.
Excuse me, but you don't need to have an attitude.
You know, we're wasting our time. I'm gonna step out
Exactly.
before I say something because I'm more professional than that. But you guys have made a mistake, and we, as a
Our
fire and EMS
Yeah.
service and the community at large, we're voters, and we're gonna remember that. So I'm not
Exactly.
making a threat by no means. Have a nice day, David. It was a pleasure talking to you the other night. I hope what you told me, what you reconsidered, you will reconsider.
I will seriously reconsider that position.
Any